to do something that is about to blow your mind. He went up there in space, the very first man of African descent in space. His name, Amaldo Tamayo Mendez. And that's the man you see here. My brother, my sister, Amaldo was born on the 29th day of January in 1942. And he was born all the way in Barranquilla, in Cuba. Now, my brother, my sister, 29th January in 1942, he's still alive, 83 years old. Now, Barranquilla is a municipality and a city in Guantanamo province, near the eastern lip of Cuba. My brother, my sister, it has a beautiful history. It was visited by Admiral Christopher Columbus on November 27, 1492. It was an island that Christopher Columbus loved because of its beauty. In fact, an area that he loved so much. My brother, my sister, in the municipality of the city of, in fact, the province of Guantanamo. My brother, my sister, today we're talking about Amaldo Tamayo Mendez, Afro-Cuban. He was born on the 29th day of January in 1942 in Barranquilla in Cuba. He is a Cuban military officer, a legislator, a former cosmonaut, and the first person of African heritage in space. In 1980, as a member of the crew of Soyuz 38, he became the first Cuban citizen, the first Latin American, the first person of African descent, and the first person from a country in the Western Hemisphere, other than the United States, to travel into the Earth's orbit. My brother, my sister, he was born, as you were told, in Barranquilla, in the Guantanamo province, into a family of Afro-Cuban descent. He was orphaned in infancy. He was just a little boy when he was orphaned. So he was adopted at the age of 1 by one Rafael Tamayo and Esperanza Mendez. He lost both parents, my brother, my sister, in infancy. At infancy, my brother. He began working at the age of 13 as a shoe shine boy and a vegetable vendor, and later worked as a carpenter's assistant. He struggled in life. Now, during the Cuban Revolution, he joined the Association of Young Rebels, a group protesting the Batista regime, and later the Revolutionary Work Youth Brigades. He was interested in politics. He loved his country, Cuba. He went through a lot of discrimination as a poor black boy, even in Cuba. Then he decided to join the army, and he did. He joined the Communist Party of Cuba in 1967. My brother, my sister, in 1967, he was only 25 years old. So he did. And when he joined, he spent the next 2 years serving with Cuban forces in the Vietnam War, returning 2 years later in 1969 to study at the Maximo Gomez Basic College of the Revolutionary Forces. He stayed there for 3 years until 1971. In fact, 2 years, I beg your pardon. Now, in 1975, he was made Chief of Staff at the Santa Clara Aviation Brigade and was promoted to the rank of Lieutenant Colonel the following year. And in 1978, he was selected to join the Intercosmos program and moved to Star City, Russia, for his training as a cosmonaut. So there he was as a cosmonaut, and he studied so hard to be able to make it happen. Oh my God. My brother, my sister, he was selected as part of the Soviet Union's 7th Intercosmos program on the 1st of March 1978. His backup in the Intercosmos program was fellow Cuban Jose Lopez Falcon, Tamayo. Tamayo would spend the next 2.5 years in training for the mission. He trained so hard. And on the 18th of September 1980, at exactly 7:11 p.m. UTC, my brother, my sister, and UTC is coordinated universal time. He was launched into space aboard Soyuz 38 from Baikonur Cosmodrome. My brother, my sister, and there he was, making history, my brother, my sister. He became the very first person of African descent to go into space. And here you can see photos of them. The only black man sitting there, so excited. Oh my God, right there in space. Now, upon his return to Earth, he was decorated with the Hero of the Republic of Cuba medal, and the first person to be so honored. And in Moscow, he received the Order of Lenin and was also named a hero of the Soviet Union. So 2 in 1, hero of 2 distinct countries. This great man we're talking about. My brother, my sister, when he returned on Earth, he was made director of the Military Patriotic Educational Society, known as Sociedad de Educación Patriotico Militar, as in, his language. My brother, my sister, after his promotion to Brigadier General, he became director of the International Affairs of Cuba, the Armed Forces. The man is still alive, my brother, my sister. He's been honored several times. He is married and has 2 daughters and a son. His spacesuit is preserved at the Museum of the Revolution in Havana, in Cuba, to serve as a chunk of history for generations yet to come. Today, I'm glad that we're talking about this great man of history, and his name is very simple: Amaldo Tamayo Mendez. And my name is certainly Blakk Rasta. Now, in the burden of knowledge, I ask you, now that you know the story of Amaldo, what would you do? Be an any ole mini about failures with the Kagade Mezaka Yini. Yeah, I'm Papango Bokaya Nung. Fifia Yenya, no Kaina war. Banaeu, ebe den. Banaeu, ebe ya bade. This has been the African history class, and I'm most excited to be with you. No 2 ways about them, Tindeman. This is the African history class.
Maliendu, alme bawatila, se wale.
Majuya muna malibada gambolo. Maliba. Sorasi jamadora nori gelela. Sorasi dongera yadimebe oyebi.
And my name is certainly Blakk Rasta, Ghana's #1, Africa's finest. And I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you and I love you. Hey, now let me go straight into the tape of the day. Now the tape of the day today looks at Bawumia. Now there was a time a certain cathedral was supposed to be built according to the president in power, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It was said that public money will not be used for that. Individuals will donate. Though it was called the National Cathedral, it was a personal promise that the president made to God. So when he became president, he decided that he will honor that promise. What was the promise? He made a promise to God before he became president, that if God made him president because he was so desperate to be president, because his father was a ceremonial president, he must also be a president. He became president, and Ghanaians had so much hopes. His performance was so abysmal that Ghanaians have never forgiven him. But one of the albatrosses hanging around his neck would include the cathedral. This was what Bawumia said about the cathedral. My brother, my sister, listen.
Make one point before I sit. I want to just make one point. I want to just make one point. I want to just make one point before I sit. As you all know, there are efforts to build a national cathedral. It is very, very important that we build that cathedral. There's a voluntary exercise. Anybody who wants to contribute can contribute. I have contributed, and I will contribute some more. So I encourage everybody to think about it, and let's build it. It is not for anybody, it is for Ghana and for the glory of God.
This is 3FM.
You heard the voice of former Vice President Bawumia. He made two very important points. It was voluntary. It was going to be for Ghana and for the glory of God. He said that he had contributed and he was going to contribute some more. That it will not include public funds. Today as we sit, millions of American dollars belonging to the Ghanaian government got sunk into this project, and there's nothing to show for it except a certain expensive hole, which is now the abode of mosquitoes, tortoises, tadpoles, frogs, and toads, maybe some reptiles. But this was what Bawumia said. Listen one more time.
I want to just make one point before I want to just make one point. I want to just make one point before I sit. As you all know, there are efforts to build a national cathedral. It is very, very important that we build that cathedral. There's a voluntary exercise. Anybody who wants to contribute can contribute. I have contributed, and I will contribute some more. So I encourage everybody to think about it, and let's build it. It is not for anybody, it is for Ghana and for the glory of God.
This is 3FM.
It's very clear, my brother, my sister, that cathedral, after spending so much money on it, it will still hang around the necks of all these thieving, lying politicians who failed us, lying to us. It was private money, but it turned out to be public money. There will never be any turning back for these people.
Raise your voice and shout, come on.
This is 3FM. This is 3FM.
Okay, so at this point I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you and I love you. My name Blakk Rasta. Catch me again on Monday between 3, I beg your pardon, between 12:30 and 3. Until then, on behalf of my producer, one Lord, sorry but thunder, and of course, one Etonam. I hand over the microphone right down to Trigmatic alongside DJ Faculty. Salam Nacho. Journey of Pan-Africanism and consciousness. It is your regular taxi driver with the urban blend and 3FM 92.7 in living stereo every day, Monday to Friday from 12:30 p.m. till 3 p.m. This is the show everybody listens to, so your business will certainly do well here. My name, Blakk Rasta. I am the rootical, hairtical, Don Gargan, Mua Fire, Rhythm, come forward. Atinga ya chika fankare, Azure ya chika fankare, Abama ta chika fankare.
3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
Are you ready?
Something big is happening in Accra. It's 3FM Afro Connect, a grand celebration of African unity, culture, and creativity in Ghana.
This September, Africa will unite to celebrate the beauty and cultural diversity of the continent right here in Accra, Ghana. The whole continent is gathering in one place at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park on Nkrumah Holiday, the 22nd of September 2025 from 9 a.m. Experience the rhythms, the art, the fashion,
and the unforgettable spirit of unity. Exhibitions, food and vendor markets, and of course the legendary 3FM Jollof Wars. This year, AfroConnect gets even bigger and better with the Sajaful Night Concert. Buy your tickets on *725*22